Suge Knight, infamous music entrepreneur and creator of Death Row Records, has been making headlines for years owing to his participation in a variety of illegal activities. Death Row Records was founded by Suge Knight. However, ever since his incarceration in 2015, there has been a great deal of conjecture on the activities that are taking place with him behind bars. People are interested in learning more about the present circumstances of this controversial character, since they are wondering about his health condition as well as his approaching trial. In this video, we will dig into the specifics of Suge Knight's existence behind bars and investigate what the future has in store for him. Without further ado, let's get into it together. The time that Suge Knight has spent behind bars has been marred by a variety of health problems. In 2015, he passed out while testifying in court and was sent to the hospital for blood clots. Since that time, he has been coping with a variety of other medical challenges, some of which include issues with his eyesight and ongoing discomfort. The attorneys for Knight have contended that their client's health is fast deteriorating and that he is not getting proper medical attention while he is incarcerated. They have also asserted that the circumstances under which he is being held are contributing to the deterioration of his health. However, Knight continues to be imprisoned, and there is no sign that he will be freed at any time in the near future. Despite these fears, there is no evidence that he will be released. Suge Knight, once the CEO of Death Row Records, has been incarcerated continuously since the year 2015. Following the incident, he was taken into custody and charged with murder after he allegedly drove over two guys with his vehicle outside of a burger business in Compton. The event took place during the production of the film Straight Outta Compton, which told the story of the rise to fame of the rap group NWA, to whom Knight had connections. Throughout his life, Knight has been charged with several offenses, some of which include assault, battery, and possession of drugs. His past criminal activity is well documented, and as a result, it has often eclipsed the achievements he has had in the music business. Despite this, a large number of people continue to see him as an influential figure who contributed to the formation of hip-hop culture in the 1990s. The accusation of murder that Knight is facing brings with it the possibility of a sentence ranging from 25 years to life in prison. Even though this is not the first time he has faced severe allegations, this may be his final opportunity to escape spending the rest of his life imprisoned. Many people are curious about what will happen to one of the most prominent individuals in hip-hop as he awaits to go to trial. The legal problems that Suge Knight is facing are not even close to being resolved. The former rap mogul is going to stand trial on allegations of murder and attempted murder arising from an event that occurred in 2015 in which he drove over two individuals with his vehicle, killing one of them and wounding the other. The incident led to the filing of these charges. Knight has entered a not guilty plea to the allegations against him, but if he is found guilty, he may be sentenced to life in prison. Because of an incident involving a hit and run that took place in 2015, Suge Knight was given a sentence of 28 years in prison in 2018. After running over and killing a man called Terry Carter with his vehicle, the former music magnate entered a plea of no contest to the charge of voluntary manslaughter and was sentenced accordingly. Knight said that he was only attempting to flee an assault. However, the prosecution maintained that he did it on purpose in order to use his automobile as a weapon. The beginning of trial was supposed to take place in 2018, but it has been pushed back numerous times owing to a wide variety of causes, including changes in legal representation and health concerns. Nevertheless, the start date has been tentatively established for the 12th of April, 2021. For Knight, who had been in and out of courtrooms for decades, this sentencing signaled the culmination of a protracted legal struggle that has lasted for years. While a few of his followers and friends thought that he was the victim of an unjust investigation by the authorities, others saw the judgment as proof that justice had been done in the end. Regardless of how one feels about the subject, it cannot be denied that since Knight's time spent at Death Row Records, his life has taken a significant detour in an unexpected direction. Due to both Knight's prominence and seriousness of the allegations brought against him, it is anticipated that the trial will get extensive media coverage. It is still unknown what will occur during the trial, as well as the verdict that will be rendered regarding Suge Knight. Understanding Suge Knight's present status in jail requires having a firm grasp of his legal history, particularly his prior convictions. The former music entrepreneur has a lengthy legal history that begins in the early 1990s and extends all the way up to the present day. In 1992, he was found guilty of carrying a concealed firearm and received a term of probation. 2 years later, he got into a brawl at a hotel in Las Vegas, and 2 years after that, he was charged with assault and battery for the incident. Suge Knight was taken into custody in 1996 on charges of breaching the terms of his probation by engaging in a second bout. As a result result of this crime, he was sentenced to 5 years in jail. In 2003, he was taken into custody once again for breaking the terms of his parole after he punched a parking valet outside of a nightclub in Hollywood. As a direct consequence of this, he was sent to jail for an additional 10 months. These prior convictions portray a picture of someone who has had difficulty keeping out of problems with the law, which paints an image of someone who has had difficulty. This also draws attention to the fact that Suge Knight is no stranger to the confines of a prison cell. It is unknown what the future holds for him and whether or not he will be able to make things better despite the fact that he is now facing more criminal accusations and an impending trial. The length of time that Suge Knight will spend behind bars is noteworthy for a variety of reasons. In the first place, it signals the conclusion of a lengthy and contentious career in the field of music. Knight's image was damaged by charges of violent behavior and criminal conduct, which caused him to fall from his position as one of the most dominant people in hip-hop. 2. The sentence handed down to Knight brings attention to the problems of celebrity justice. Some people believe that due to his high reputation and his history of convictions, Knight was given a sentence that was more severe than what he deserved. A number of people are of the opinion that considering the gravity of his offenses, he received an inadequate punishment. The incarceration of Knight raises issues about the whole prison system in the United States. There is a widespread perception that prisons are both overcrowded and underfunded, which results in deplorable living circumstances for convicts and limited opportunities for their rehabilitation. It is the reason for worry that an inmate like Suge Knight may spend years in jail without obtaining appropriate medical attention or assistance for their mental health. Throughout his career, Suge Knight, who was once the CEO of Death Row Records, has been notorious for the provocative words he has made and the acts he has taken. Even though he is incarcerated, he maintains his reputation for making controversial statements. Knight said that he has been on the receiving end of falsehoods told by the government in a recent interview that he gave to The Blast. Knight said that he has been a victim of their lies. After years of court fights and charges leveled against him, Knight has finally released a statement. He is suspected of committing many crimes, including homicide and attempted homicide, among others. Despite this, Knight continues to insist that he is innocent and says that the authorities have made up the evidence against him. In addition to this, he claims that they have abused him while he was locked up. Although it is not unusual for incarcerated individuals to assert that they are innocent or that they have been treated unfairly by the legal system, Knight's claims add still another layer of complication to a situation that was already fraught with difficulties. It is now unknown how much truth there is to Knight's assertions that the authorities have been lying to them while the general public waits for future developments in Knight's case. That's all for today's video, guys. If you like our content, feel free to subscribe to the channel, share, and hit the notification bell to get the latest news from us. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.